Hello everyone, Tony Maritato here, and in this video I'm talking to the new grads, specifically the OTs, PTs, and SLPs who are graduating this year in 2021. I want to encourage you to consider becoming a contracted provider with Medicare as soon as you graduate. There's going to be 6 reasons I'm going to share in this video, and then several reasons more why you think you should really consider doing it sooner rather than later. And the main reason is because you are a professional, and as such you should be able to work independently. Even if you plan on getting employment with a large hospital organization that doesn't require you to be contracted with Medicare, I still believe that as professionals, we owe it to ourselves and the profession to have the independence, the autonomy, and the freedom to treat patients when and where and how we believe patients should be cared for. So, a couple things. Number one, applying as a Medicare Part B provider for PT, OT, SLP is a free process. Medicare does not charge you to apply and become contracted as a physical therapist in private practice, an occupational therapist in private practice, or a qualified speech language pathologist. Number two, I think that if you want a way to differentiate yourself as a new grad looking for employment in a private practice, if you have your Medicare provider number in hand, and especially if you understand the process already, you are ready to work. You are ready to treat. The truth is, when a new therapist, new grad or otherwise, is being hired by a private practice, that therapist must have a personal Medicare provider number, and that number must be reassigned to the business that they're working for. Now, you can have as many reassignments in place as you want. You can work for 10 different locations. That doesn't matter. But you have to have your personal Medicare provider number, your personal NPI number, and they have to be reassigned and associated to the business you're working for. The employer cannot submit a claim for treatment you deliver until that reassignment is approved. So if you already have your PTAN, it is so much quicker to get your reassignment in place as opposed to if you have to apply for your PTAN along with the reassignment. You immediately go to the top of the list when we're thinking about employing candidates because you're ready to work, as opposed to somebody who has to go through the entire enrollment process. I think that another reason why we owe it to ourselves to contract with Medicare as soon as we graduate is because I understand the need, the desire to go work for an organization, to build experience, to gain exposure, but there's also a personal desire to treat patients the way you believe patients should be treated. And so having the freedom, the opportunity that if somebody in your network decides, hey, I need physical therapy, I want to go get it with John, that you have the ability to do that. Medicare does not require you to treat Medicare beneficiaries once you're contracted, but as long as you are contracted, you have the opportunity to do so. So you might contract, not see anybody for 6 months. That's okay. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no registration fees, but at least you have the ability to do it if you so choose. When you do contract with Medicare as a private physical therapist, occupational therapist in private practice, or a speech language pathologist, it's important that you know Medicare does not require you to have an electronic medical record. You are allowed to use one, but you're also allowed to just continue to use paper documentation. We own and operate multiple locations as a physical therapist in private practice. We have a combination. We have some electronic documentation and some pen and paper, because there's still benefit to just having a clipboard with a piece of paper on it while you're working with your patients. Medicare also allows you to submit claims in a variety of ways. You can submit a paper claim to Medicare if you're a small new provider. You can submit a claim to Medicare through a clearinghouse, and some MACs, Medicare intermediaries, will accept or have the ability for you to submit a claim through the MAC portal, which is basically their website. So there are lots of options that cost nothing or a little bit on a monthly fee for a clearinghouse to be able to submit claims to Medicare. But once again, I think the biggest barrier to therapists becoming contracted providers with Medicare is the fact that they just don't understand the process. So I'm inviting you, I'm encouraging you, I'm asking you to go ahead and start to research the process. Every state has what's called a Medicare MAC, M-A-C, and that MAC website will give you detailed instructions on how to become a Medicare provider. Of course, if you want more resources, I have a digital course, a video course that walks you through the entire enrollment application, and then we have a premium service, in which case I'm actually the one, will do your application for you, because I've done so many applications over the years. I know where all the pitfalls are, I know where people get caught up, and so it's just, you know, when I'm doing 50, 60 applications and you've never done one, it's just an easier process. So guys, point being, you are professionals working at the highest level in your profession. I believe that you should have the independence and the autonomy to treat Medicare beneficiaries if you so choose. And there are just tons of advantages to becoming a contracted Medicare provider. If you have questions, if you have concerns, absolutely reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next video.